Hello and welcome to another flip lesson. This one is on comparing and ordering fractions. We're doing both because we've covered a little bit of this in class and it's a concept which we've done before with other numbers, with whole numbers. So now we're just going to apply it to fractions. Go ahead and title your lesson Comparing and Ordering Fractions, and then write down the I can statement. I can compare and order fractions. So we're going to review comparing fractions. If you feel good about this section, you don't need to rewatch it, you understand it, then go ahead and skip forward a little bit to the practice check and make sure that you get both of those answers correct. If you do, then you can continue to ordering fractions. If not, go back and watch this beginning part here. Okay, comparing fractions. So what are the symbols and the words that we use for comparing fractions? We have greater than, so that would be our alligator jumping. We have less than, the symbol that looks like this. And then we also have equal to. Two fractions can be equal, and we use the equal sign for that. So here are two strategies that you can use to compare fractions. The first one is draw a picture. The second strategy is called use cross multiplication, and I will show you how to do each of these. The first strategy is called draw a picture. So when we're comparing two fractions, you need to draw similar pictures to compare them. So here I've drawn identical rectangles, and then I've split them into the number of pieces appropriate for the denominator. This denominator is 4/5, 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And in this rectangle, my denominator is 4, so I've split it into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Okay, let's go back to 4/5. How many parts should be shaded in out of the 5? You should say 4. And in this fraction, how many parts out of the 4 should be shaded in? 2 is the correct answer. So now you just need to take a look at the picture and see, well, which picture has more shaded in? Is it this one, or does it look like this one? Using your best judgment, I would say 4/5 has more shaded in, so 4/5 is the greater fraction. Remember, the alligator or the Pac-Man mouth always wants to eat the bigger thing. It's hungry. Using cross multiplication is another strategy that you can use for comparing fractions. The way we do this is to cross between opposite denominators and numerators. So we're going to make a cross and multiply. Cross multiplication. So my first cross line I'm going to make is between the 5 and the 10, and all I do is say 5 times 2 equals 10. And then I draw my second line of the cross. 4 times 4 equals 16. Now you just need to look and see which is bigger, 16 or 10. And this proves that our last picture was correct, that 4/5 is the greater fraction. So then we draw the appropriate symbol. Let's do a practice check. You can use either cross multiplication or drawing a picture, whichever method you prefer, whichever is easiest for you. And take a minute and solve problem 1, which is 2/9 and 1/3. Write that down, use your strategy, and figure out which is the greater number. And then we have 1/4 and 3/12. So figure out which number is greater. Go ahead and pause the video while you work it. If you're not ready yet, pause it because I'm going to go on to the answers. Practice check 1 and 2. Your answers are for number 1, less than. That first fraction was less than the second. And then the number 2 was a little tricky. They were equal. Hopefully you found out that they were the same, equal to. All right, ordering fractions. When we order, we're just putting it in order from either least to greatest, or the opposite would be greatest to least. Here's an example. Order the fractions from greatest to least. Let's say these are the directions that I'm given. So the first thing I need to do is underline the important words in the directions, which would be telling me how to order. So I would underline greatest to least. Absolutely, I need to know that. If I do it the opposite way, I'm going to get it wrong. Okay, so here's my example problem. You need to use a comparing fractions strategy, draw a picture or cross multiplication, and figure out which fraction is greater. So I have 3/8 and I have 2/3. Those are the two fractions that I'm going to put in order. I'm going to use cross multiplication because it's a little bit simpler for me, and so I don't have to draw the pictures. But if you would rather draw pictures, then please do so. Okay, so I'm going to do 8 times 2, crossing my multiplication. 8 times 2 equals 16. And then I'm going to do 3 times 3, which equals 9. So now I can see which number is bigger. Is it a 9 or 16? Hopefully you said 16 is bigger, which means that 2/3 is the greatest fraction, and then 3/8 is the least. So I'll put them in order: 2/3 or 3/8. And I want to point out that it doesn't matter which way you write the fraction. You can write them on top of each other like this, or you can write them side by side with a slash. Either way represents a fraction. I want you to get used to seeing them both ways. Let's try a problem. This one has 3 numbers, so it's going to be one more step for you. I want you to order the fractions from least to greatest. Pay attention to those directions. The 3 fractions are 1/2, 2/3, and 2/6. Write those down in your math notebook for problem check number 3. Pause the video while you work it out and try and get them in order. If you're not ready yet, pause. I'm going to move on and give you the answers. Okay, from least to greatest, the fractions go from 2/6 to 1/2 to 2/3. So hopefully you got that one correct. If not, you need to go back, watch the example problem again, or write down your questions for me in your math notebook so I know specifically how I can help you. For those of you who are interested, I do have a challenge problem. This is tricky. Order the fractions from greatest to least. And I have 4 fractions for you here: 4/9, 8/12, 3/5, and 2/6. So go ahead and take your best guess. Pause the video while you use a comparing strategy so that you can order the fractions from greatest to least. If you're not ready for the challenge answer, pause because I'm going to give it away. All right, here we go. From greatest to least, we start with 2/3, and then I have 3/5, followed by 4/9, and finally 1/3. If you didn't get the challenge correct, then that's okay, but I want you to know where you made the error so that you can check yourself and know what you need to work on for next time. That is all I have. Bring your questions next time I see you.